Sarah, let's talk about the 7 agent marketing trends that we see happening over the course of the next year. The goal here is to help you become a better marketer so you can sell more homes. We've got seven total. Some of them, there's a little bit of overlap, but let's just dive into the first one. So the first agent trend I see is TikTok.
Yes, this is gonna be a huge one, especially when you consider that Gen Z, most of them are about to hit that first-time home buyer age, and there's no other place than TikTok that they're going to be looking for an agent. A lot of times, I think agents can get a little bit confused as to what actually works on TikTok for their real estate business. Now, we still wanna look for trending sounds and trends in general, but you have to keep it real estate related. So these dancing trends and things like that, as long as they're real estate related.
I keep seeing this one and people doing all the dances. So what you're saying is no more dances, right? And maybe instead we can share tips, share advice. I think what's cool about TikTok is that it forces you to create content or create a message, right, for your contacts and for your connections that's very concise.
Yes.
And it's using video, but it's a very forgiving video format, meaning you don't have to be a pro, you don't need fancy equipment, you literally just use your phone and talk to your phone. And because of the format being so forgiving, you don't have to worry about getting your hair did, right? You don't even have to put makeup on, although you can, right? I mean, I did my hair today, but here's the thing, it makes it so much easier, especially if you're new, because I think a lot of people are a little uncomfortable with the idea of doing video. They don't know what to say, they're not quite sure how to put it all together. But TikTok's the fastest growing social media platform, I believe, in the history of social media. And so what that tells me is we can't ignore that, right? Like if we ignore something as pervasive as TikTok is becoming, then we become dinosaurs by not paying attention to the media that works today. And you know, if we're relying on old school tactics, now I'm not saying that they don't work, but there's a chance that some of them have been rendered obsolete, right? So TikTok, trend number 1.
Yes.
Let's get on to the second trend, which is doing video-based marketing, or just doing video in your real estate practice at all. This includes creating video for your listings, creating video for your TikTok and your social media, creating video for your website. At least the last 10 years, people have been talking about video, and this is the year that video is gonna happen. I see video happening already. Yes. We're just not all paying attention to it. Even when you look at what works on social media today, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, it's using video. It's using short form video, it's using long form video, it's just using video of all types. This is probably what scares most people is, well, I don't know what to say. I'm not good on camera. Everyone should at least start dabbling in it, because you mentioned that the Gen Z is entering into like that phase of being first-time home buyers. And here's what I know, there's already an army of real estate professionals who are versed in video, versed in using tools like TikTok, and they're gonna eat our lunch if we don't start doing just a little bit more video. Related to video, going into the third trend is Instagram Reels.
So Instagram Reels is actually the most engaging type of post that you can use on Instagram and Facebook because it is so engaging that Facebook will actually share your Reels to their platform. Now, one of the best parts I find about Reels is it's incredibly easy to take your TikTok videos and post them on Instagram. And what I find happening is that those Reels that I post on Instagram get more engagement than when I post on TikTok. That's not to say that you shouldn't still be posting on TikTok. That's just to show you that right now people want these videos. They want to engage with you. Authenticity and transparency are going to go a lot further than trying to put some facade out there that you are not on video or that you might not be the person for video, because a lot of these first-time home buyers that we're talking about have no idea what it takes to go find a home, what it takes to buy a home. So you need to be marketing yourself just as much as you're marketing those listings that you have.
Whether you're using video for TikTok, whether you're using it for Instagram Reels or any of the social media posts, if you are willing to create video of you sharing your expertise, sharing what you know about real estate, it might be the only way a prospective client, whether it's a buyer or a seller, it might be the only way they know what it's like to work with you before actually working with you. And the funny thing is, by watching video, is they start to develop an affinity for the person that they're watching and the person sharing those tips and sharing that advice. Most people who use Instagram, I would say, like how many of you are using Instagram and how many of you are using Instagram for your real estate practice? How many of you would like to have more followers on Instagram? You probably would raise your hand. Now, if you raise your hand and say, yes, I want more followers, but in the same movement say, but I'm not gonna do Instagram Reels, there's a disconnect there because doing Instagram Reels is the way to get more followers now. And the great thing is, like, how long is an Instagram Reel?
Right now, the longest form is 60 seconds.
60
so
seconds.
if you can talk about real estate for 60 seconds, you have yourself a hard-hitting video that will actually get engaged.
Yeah, and it could be just a basic tip. Think of all the questions that clients have asked you, and maybe even that they're asking you right now, like, how's the market? Yep. Is the market gonna crash? Hey, what do I have to do to get my home ready for sale? Hey, what do you think of the market? What's happening with this house or this neighborhood or whatever the case may be? Take something that you know, because every time you show a home or every time you work with a seller, they ask you questions. And you have to provide answers to those questions. And I know you already know how to do a good job doing it. Now all we're saying is answer that question in front of a camera and share that on Instagram Reels. Let's shift gears a little bit because there's more technology and there are more tools than just video. I see a trend taking place. So when I first got involved in the real estate industry, it was pretty commonplace where if you called somebody, right, this is in the 90s, if you called somebody, people actually picked up the phone and answered it. Now these days it's a little bit different. You call somebody, it goes to voicemail. They might not get back to you for weeks, depending on that individual. So we don't do as many phone calls these days. We still have the need to be able to communicate with our clients and to be able to communicate with prospects and even to communicate with people so that we can generate opportunities for ourselves. Here's the thing, text messaging is a trend that I think most people don't realize that they can do text message marketing, right? And there's a lot of great tools that are out there that you can use text message marketing, whereas a couple of years ago, if someone sent you a business communication or a marketing promotion through text, you would have been like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? But it's pretty commonplace these days. I get a few every single day. We can use text message marketing to be able to stay in touch, to be able to build relationships, provide value, and we know that it's getting through. Now, they may not always respond, but people are receiving it, and chances are they're opening it. In fact, text message open rates are between 8 and 10 times more frequently than an email that gets sent out. So very important for us to add text messaging to the list of things that we do, which actually leads us to the next trend, which is it's just a slight variation on text messaging, which is using tools like Facebook Messenger or even Instagram direct messaging, right? I think those are pretty cool because if you're connected to somebody on Facebook, if you're connected to them on Instagram, you can already start sending them messages. You don't have to go find them. You're already connected to them. You already start sending them messages.
And when you think about it this way, right now, our social media accounts, Facebook and Instagram, those are our new business cards. So when you're connecting with somebody new for the first time, one of the first things you're going to do is share with them your Instagram handle, your Facebook account, so that you guys can connect. Now, once you're connected, it's a lot easier to use Facebook Messenger and Instagram direct message to reach back out to that client, to re-engage them because you're already connected on social media.
You know what's interesting is a lot of times we think of social media as just what we post. Like I post this one thing and everybody sees it. I think what most of us don't realize is the power of the fact that we're connected to people and we can actually send a one-on-one message to somebody and they're gonna get it and they're gonna open it and they're gonna read it. Because they're likely using Instagram or Facebook just as frequently as you are and as we are, they're getting the message, they're seeing it there. And so I think, getting familiar with how to use some of these tools just to do your regular outreach that you might do, your connection rate is going to go through the roof using these new tools. The next trend I want to get into, personal contact, right? Because I think that a trend we're gonna see that's a necessity, right? So I don't think something everyone's doing, but I think a necessity is that we start showing people, our clients, our prospects, the people that we would like to work with, I think we have to start showing people that we care. In this highly connected digital/social age, it's really easy for people to only have a surface level connection with us. Going a step further and building a relationship through personal contact, I think is going to be something that's a requirement, because ultimately we all want to believe that they care more about us than our wallets. And in the real estate context, we would say that our clients, they want us to care about them more than the transaction that they represent. And the question I have for you is, when's the last time you showed your contacts, your connections, your past clients, your prospects, your leads, that you actually care about them? Because I know you do, but you might not communicate it that frequently. If you will just take a little bit of time out of your day to do outreach, right? Send people direct messages through text messaging, through Facebook Messenger, through Instagram direct messaging, heck, even just doing direct comments onto their social media accounts. I think what you're gonna find is not only will they respond really well, you will have a really good response internally as well, meaning that you're gonna feel good about the interactions that come out of it. The last trend I wanna get into is something that might go against, everything that we talk about here at the Paperless Agent, and it's direct mail. But here's the thing that we say, it's paperless, not paper free, right? But I think direct mail is one where in real estate, we've really gotten away from it as a practice. Direct mail used to be like part of the bread and butter in real estate in terms of the marketing that we did. And it's still a huge part of anyone who's doing farm marketing and stuff like that. But here's the thing, with all the digital tools that are available and that have become available in social media, not as many people do direct mail. They think it's expensive, they think it's harder. It hasn't even really crossed the radar as something they ought to do. But I see, whenever you see a lot of movements in the market, like things happening in technology. I don't know if you saw, like Apple and Facebook are a little bit of a war with each other, and it's making the marketing that we do on Facebook, a little bit harder to do. So whenever you see this type of stuff happening in technology, I always like to ask myself, well, how did we do this 100 years ago or even 50 years ago, right? And sometimes that might tell us, well, this is what we should try doing now. And so I think that in the coming year, that if you invest in direct mail, because so few of your competitors are, that it's a good way for you to get in front of your clients.
So those are the top 7 agent marketing trends that we're seeing at this time. But we're curious, which ones are you seeing and which ones are you actually doing right now? Let us know in the comment section below. Well, that's all we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining. If you found any of this helpful, like and subscribe wherever it is you're watching or listening from. Thanks again.